Awaken Beauties, finally, it's here. The truth to empower women to true inner beauty through a healthy mind and inner biology. I am your hostess, Cassandra Keel, a 20-year salon owner, organic beauty product formulator, positive mind management, and clinical hypnotherapist. And I am here to help you stay sane, get sleep, and bring your sexy back. Sponsored by evoquebeauty.com. evoquebeauty.com. Now, let's get to it.
Alrighty, my friends, welcome. So we are going to be doing a deep dive in what we call the creator economy, and all of us are a part of it. Now, we're going to be going through and reviewing where are we at in this transference of time as far as this intersection between the information age and the new creator economy. And this whole time that we're going to spend together also supports both phases in my Life in Bloom Solutions, in which we bring women through the Wealth Accelerator. And this really helps women understand where their zone of genius is and where they can best apply themselves so that we can finally get to the root or start to get to the root of the high achiever stress disorder. And I find that when we're unlinked from our purpose, that we're following somebody else's path, and we're so busy just trying to keep up, we feel like we're losing time, and we feel as though we are not living our true purpose, which causes more stress and, let's be frank, overwhelm, anxiety, and depression. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to go through basically the interpretation through different mentors that I've had, and really where Life in Bloom Solutions meets this intersection of creating the garden in your mind and how we replenish it, especially around wealth. Now, money isn't an immutable universal truth, but a fluid relative representation of value, which is always individual. So your interpretation of wealth is going to feel very different in the resonance of your body based on your background, your beliefs, but we're going to change that right now. Now, while everyone is talking about the Great Resignation and how people are leaving jobs for, different new ventures, maybe they had to be with their kids at home, creating a gig economy, something on the side that they're finally just done and they want to start creating. What this is saying is that there's actually a bigger shift going on here, with people looking to find a more meaningful and purposeful way of life. So what we are really seeing is the focus of where individuals are going and how they are adding meaning to their careers, their passion projects, their vision, which is more important than what we're leaving behind. So the awakening is the beginning, my friends, and it is what we call the Great Reignition, or you could call it your Great Reinvention. And humanity has thus far evolved through very distinct, in fact, there's 4 of them, phases in our lifetime on this planet. And at every stage of society's evolution, leaders have had to learn new skills and new ways of doing business. And we are now seeing the evolution of Entrepreneur 5.0. I also call it the Evolutionary Woman 5.0. And as we move from the age of this yes or no, black and white, to this true quantum era of infinite possibility, the super woman, creator, entrepreneur will focus on real world businesses that deliver insight, impact, income, that also are attached to high tech and high touch. Now, I am madly in love with the Web3 space, NFTs, We're looking at the blockchain and how we're decentralizing. People are more hungry than ever to take it out of the hands of the government and those that make the rules but don't play by the rules. And we create from our own internal wealth of knowledge. So where we want to, as we step into, whether you're in the Wealth Dynamics program that I create around our Flow Accelerator, or if you're listening on a podcast, I want you to focus on your vision, because the future is ours to create, my friends. And everything about our education and the socialization teaches us to focus on our past. But to learn from our past mistakes, right? To look at our progress to date and to use that as a predictor of where we're going in the future, maybe 5 years, 10 years from now. And what I'm here to say is that we are at this intersection right now of consciousness. And I'm not talking woo-woo here. This is literal. I want you to believe it in your body, where we need to stop relying on that memory muscle and start developing our visionary imagination from the garden of our mind, because that is where we start to become the conscious creator of our life. And for too long, we've ran by somebody else's rules, somebody else's belief systems, etc. So forget the past, envision your future, your endpoint, and then we work back from there. Because the past is going to constrain you. It traps you in the same consciousness that created that current experience and the challenge. And so wherever you catch yourself thinking about the past and allowing that to inform and shape your thinking, I want you to stop and take a breath. I want you to engage with your breath. It's basically the 3 B's, right? You want to embody it. So feel it in your body. Where do you feel that? Bring your breath into it, and then bring a new belief to it. Your negative thought or your old thoughts are just recycled thoughts, right? So I want you to just thank your memory for sharing that information. Thank you very much. And then forget it and focus on your imagination and your future. So if we really look, let's get real serious here. If we really look during this whole pandemic of economies, we're really starting to see this closing down. Many speculated that the world would be, we'd end in this big crash. I know I did. What wasn't expected was the record numbers. Here's the reality, my friends, of new millionaires that emerged. And with all this new wealth emerging, right, we will see positive changes in the wider economic landscape where this wealth can be better distributed using different waves coming, such as crypto, the metaverse, blockchain. So in the coming decade, we are going to see a seismic shift in the way our societies, economy, and government operates. And those who understand this will absolutely serve one of the biggest waves of history, and those who don't will be left far behind. And that's why you're here with me on this journey. That's why we're in this together. Nobody does this alone. So this wave is far bigger than the Industrial Revolution, even the technological revolution. So to fully understand what all this really means for the future is that we must change our mindset and the way in which we operate together. And this will be the adoption of what we call this new society, Next Generation 5.0. And really this comes from the Japanese, and they came up with it. And it was a very core concept from them that they envisioned in 2016. It was called the Fifth Science. And the technology basic plan is focused on a human-centered consciousness society. And the concept looks at whenever there is a huge change in technology and the advancements, there's also a huge change in human behavior. And this current stage in society, it's set up to really follows this information society, which was the 4.0, information overwhelm, right? It's a knowledge base. It's very top down, which is now ending and leading us into the imagination society, what we also call the creator economy. I also bring this into another corollary of top down way of mental health and and psychotherapy to what I lead in through somatics, hypnotherapy, that everything has to come from the bottom up. And so when we build together, we heal together, and we come from this place of truly healing from the inside out. No longer just, years of talk therapy. It's staying at that mental level where we have to get down to the subconscious, where we now create both the reinvention of ourselves as well as the world. So excited. So taking this concept and applying it to the current context where people are really opting, quite frankly, out of their day job, and they're starting their own ventures. We're seeing it fundamentally everywhere. Entrepreneurs are taking this information 4.0 society, and the future entrepreneurs are really existing within this digital transformation framework where we are going to be growing daily. The blockchain, the metaverse, the NFT space, it's a $20 billion industry, my friends. It's very deep and is very far advanced already. You're just not cognitively aware of it because you haven't really seen where it meets a need for you right now. But that's where I am creating from, and where you're going to see a lot of society moving as far as services to you. And so entrepreneurs previously had to make tough decisions where they would focus their energy, whether it be insight, impact, or income, whereas Society 5.0 entrepreneurs really focus on the areas that that we're going to tap into the deeper understanding of how a consciousness level, how we can really use technology, high touch like AI, AR, VR, and digital layers to really both be online and offline simultaneously. So for like right now, I'm working with a leading industry, top professionals, bringing in both HIPAA, bringing in health insurance, bringing in psychologists, myself, and other top leaders in a NFT project called Astro Emojis. And love this team so much. It is so well thought out as far as their white paper, etc., on how we're bringing professionals into the space so that we can stop the things that we maybe don't want to bring into the Web3 from this other dimension, so that we can really create that next level of experiential healing. And what this means is that, we're really leveraging mechanisms that exist in which allows entrepreneurs, consumers to not only make the income that they want, but also to deliver the impact that they want and affecting change. And this links to one concept that has been the main driver for many entrepreneurs. The concept was written in the 1970s by visionary and futurist Buckminster Fuller, and it is called the final exam. Now, if any of you know Carbon 360 or Carbon 60, it's a supplement. It is founded off Buckminster Fuller's concept around how true health is. It's an amazing supplement, but he believed we have enough technology to be able to solve the world's problems. And the main issues holding back progression was simply distribution. So take, for instance, poverty. Poverty doesn't exist because there is not enough money. The world has more than enough money, my friends. It's just that it's not distributed effectively. I didn't say equally. I said effectively. Now, this concept points to the problem of human consciousness as opposed to resources or lack of technology as the reason behind why we have these problems. So I really believe that we must elevate our collective consciousness to meet the vast advancement in technology so that we can meet technology to meet the challenges, which is why instead of continuing to build buildings, we're starting to see that people are building global communities in the blockchain, in the metaverse, and within human consciousness rather than technology. So this is a fundamental basis of what we are calling this and/or seeing as the Great Reignition is all about. It's really lifting human consciousness. It's realizing what our passions are, and it's the first step to realizing what our purpose is. And once we work at something we have passion for, the energy we apply then leads to insights around what our impact and purpose can be in a much wider context. We start to tap into other people's flow. And that's the whole point. It's the water energy that brings all the different seasons back up into this pinnacle of the triangle, which creates the purpose and the spirit of the project. And that's where all people are able to look at that North Star and tap into that and connect to each other's flow to create the infinite game, not the finite game. So this is really the shift in human consciousness that we're really witnessing. And, people around the world are really realizing that they're simply not happy doing what they're doing. Their day income, going to their job. They want something greater. They want to be a part of something greater. They want balance. They want to address their mental health because they can no longer deal with how they've been running so fast. It goes back to the entrepreneur and the high achiever stress disorder. It is killing us. The very thing that we have passion for, it is killing us. And so how can we tap into these new ways of being and also create balance and structure in our life that brings us back to this state of love for creation? Because if we can love creating, I can guarantee you're going to restore health back to your body. And having enough income to really then realize those passion and purposes can be found elsewhere. Let me tell you, there's not a lack of money. It's a matter of how are we creating value? And the more value you create, think of it as a river, the more groove in the river you create, the more flow that you can create of the water, which is the velocity of money coming to you. And so we really want to then, what is that starting point? The starting point is your zone of genius. It's your frequency behind your genius. I'm naturally a creator, and I'm also naturally a star. And the star can be great because what I love doing is bringing in other people and shining a light on them and just loving them up and helping them shine and seeing themselves bigger than they even would ever believe they are. But sometimes if you lack energy and you become egotistical, stars can go and just try to shine a light on themselves. And this is what I see happen in the coaching industry, in the guru industry, and the personal development industry. It is not about us, you, me. We are part of a project and we are the spokespersons of it. But what is the essence of that? Right? So as a creator, I'm really dynamo energy. I have a lot of wood energy and a lot of fire energy. So I need, for instance, my salon that I am speaking in, my salon and spa, my home that I do my coaching from, I have lots of water. And that water brings me back to my purpose, but it also cools down my natural elements is my frequency, right? That frequency then has 8 games. And that's what we talk about within the process that I bring through the Flow Accelerator with my coaching clients or my communities, is we really bring everybody into an ecosystem where they start to understand the 8 different games of entrepreneurship. And then how you then connect to everybody else's frequency so that everybody can flow together harmoniously, right? And so it all starts with your creation, which is the love to create again, which then attaches to your imagination, which goes back to this, Japanese style of them seeing truly that this next wave of technology is high touch AI with human consciousness. And so if you're feeling a desire to elevate yourself and to contribute to this movement of lifting our collective human consciousness to affect change in the world, start by surrounding yourself with like-minded people, with people that can see a future that hasn't been made yet. I spend all of my time outside of creating and recording and servicing my clients doing just that. Spend it with people that are like, really? But they help me get bigger in my frames. And so find a network to connect with and begin reigniting your true passion, your true essence, your desires, your purpose. And let me tell you, when you do, you're going to make lots of money, because that's what creates the flow first in you, and then others start to attach to your flow, and then the money starts to come in. So if everyone undertook this challenge, the world would be a much better, brighter place, my friends. And that's where I believe we're going. And I'm going to leave you with this. Unicorns versus zebras. So we laugh about like, oh, there's all these unicorns and people create unicorn masterminds. But I'm going to challenge those that think they're a unicorn or want to be a unicorn. We've all come used to talking about unicorn businesses, but that links back to what I was talking about as a star, about them being the focal point. And we all need personal branding. It's a really key point. It's a really key piece. But the evolutionary woman and the evolutionary creator and entrepreneur will be aiming to create zebras, not unicorns. They have many stripes, they have many patterns, all on one body. And the zebra business or concept or masterpiece is really interested in sustainable prosperity and fostering community and collaboration. And their focus is on quality products, quality services, and delivering quality experiences. And there's no pile them high or sell them cheap in a zebra business, my friends. And the ultimate measure of a zebra business success is not customer acquisition. The measure of a zebra ecosystem and their success is their customer success. It's their clients' success. It's the team's success. And even though that project may be for a short amount of time or a lengthened time, it's really that everybody came together, they learned and they healed. I truly believe that when we build together, we heal together. Because no longer can we be a lone wolf on an island. I did that for far too many years. I will not move forward on projects unless I know that I have my other parts of flow that I don't have a lot of energy for, hence a VA and an OBM, for helping complete all my projects, to put them into the economy, to help people level up and create a healing experience so that they can heal the experience from their business. Because I'm telling you, a lot of entrepreneurs started these businesses, but they feel like their business is traumatizing them. They're just trying to keep up with it, and it doesn't feel good. So I am all about really dissolving this stress disorder of all of these high achievers, neurodiversity, individuals with ADHD, resolving the shame, allowing our business and our project and our masterpiece and those that are attached to it to love us back big time. So the question to you as I end this time is, how can I contribute the most value, not how many clients or customers or products or things I create, right? It's, can I bring them on board, and how cheaply can I do it? It's how can I increase my service? How can I come from a place of honesty? And that's what creating a personal brand is about. It's being able to connect to other people's flow. Now, let me leave you with this. Wealth times leverage equals value. Wealth at the end of the day, I'm going to do an episode shortly on this. You can tap into it, especially if you're in my ecosystem where we do the flow accelerator, you'll get access to this. But I'm going to talk about the garden versus trying to be the butterfly catcher, and how going through this process that I create in the Life in Bloom solutions for all to be able to come into is really to go through this process and this healing process of healing, yes, themselves, but also healing themselves through the creation of their creation, which is their business, their masterpiece, their course, whatever that is. And wealth times value times leverage is what's left at the end of the day when all the money is gone. That's legacy. So the more value you create, the more leverage you're going to have, the more wealth you're going to make. It's just a matter of fact. And at the end of the day, you have so much fucking fulfillment that you don't care where the money is gone, because you know that the wealth is so robust for you that you actually left a mark and left a legacy. And everybody, when I say legacy, everybody thinks of like Bill Gates. Blech, puke. No, I'm talking about people that made a mark on your life that you remember. It could have been your grandmother, right? It could have been somebody that created an understanding of how to create Black Hills gold jewelry that my brother, when he died at 24 of cancer, I opened up a gift at Christmas that had an angel hanging on a beautiful chain that allows him to walk with me everywhere I go. The person that made the Black Hills Gold jewelry business left a legacy, and it shines on people's bodies of a remembrance of a memory of someone in their life that they loved. So what is the legacy you want to create? How do you create a zebra business around that? How do you attach to the human consciousness of the creator entrepreneurship 5.0 industry that we are vastly and already into? And I don't want anybody left behind. And this is not FOMO, but please connect with me, be in communities that help you think bigger and also allow you to heal through the process. And we will leave behind the old things that we no longer want to bring into this Web3 space. So with that said, all my love, all my light, and we'll see you on the next one.
Well, hello, Awaken Beauty. Thank you so much for joining the show today. Were you inspired? Please leave a comment or your own personal aha moment so others can capture exactly what you did. Also, please like and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you're interested in high quality natural products for your hair, skin, and wellness, including organic CBD, please visit evoquebeauty.com. Again, that is evoquebeauty.com, evoquebeauty.com. And until next time, darling, stay sane, get sleep, and bring your sexy back.